Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. Today we are going to break down a buzzword that everyone hears, cloud computing. But today you're going to learn it in some way that even someone with zero technology can understand. So grab your cup of coffee and let's just simplify the cloud. Okay. So what is this cloud computing? Imagine this. You take a picture on your phone and it automatically shows up on your laptop via Google Photo or iCloud. Or you start a movie on Netflix or your TV and finish it later on your phone. That's cloud computing in action. Simply put, cloud computing means using someone else's computing resources over the internet, like storage, servers, database, and or apps. So instead of buying your own computer hardware, you are just renting it from a big companies like Amazon, Google, or Microsoft. Think about it like an electricity. You don't generally generate it yourself, right? You just plug in and pay for what you use. Cloud computing works the same way. So, in a summary, cloud computing is just like renting someone else's powerful computer over the internet. You don't need to buy expensive machines. Instead, you are just accessing computing resources like servers, storage, and softwares from anywhere you want. It also follows a pay as you go model, meaning you only pay for what you use. Now we are going to talk about how it evolved. If we see back in early 20s, business had to buy these huge servers. They had to store them in big rooms with cooling systems, and they also had to hire people to keep them running. It was expensive, slow, and complex. In 2006, Amazon introduced AWS, allowing businesses to rent servers by the hour, just like an hotel room for computers. This actually changed everything. Suddenly, even small startups could build their own app, launch their own website, or even store their data without even owning a single server. But is it really that simple? If so, what about the other things? Like, what about scalability, accessibility, or even security? So that's where it comes. Why do people use cloud computing so much or even love it so much? There are actually five big reasons why everyone loves cloud. The first one is it's cost effective, of course. So no big investment, just pay for what you use, like an prepaid phone, if I could say. It's even scalable. Need more power during the holidays. Add more, less traffic, scale it down, like an all you can eat in buffet. It's also accessible from anywhere. Work from home, from office, or from Bali. The cloud is everywhere you are. It's also reliable and secure. This cloud computing company spends billion on security backups and recovery. It's way better than our old USB drives. It, it's also fast. Want to launch an app or taste any ideas of yours? You can do it in minutes. You don't even have to wait for months to do it. So here in simple terms, the key benefits of cloud computing, it's cost effective. You can access it from anywhere. It will provide you an enterprise grade protection and you can scale it as you want. All right, let's talk about the three main cloud service models: infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and software as a service. But don't worry, I'll explain them using a simple example everyone can relate. Just like ordering food, the first one up here is infrastructure as a service. So imagine you want to cook a meal from scratch. So you go to the grocery store, buy raw ingredients, and you cook the meal at your home, the entire meal. So here you manage the whole process, like prep, cook, and clean up. Infrastructure as a service is just like that. You get the virtual machines, storage, and network from the cloud providers, but you still install your own OS apps and manage everything else by yourself, just like AWS EC2 or Microsoft Azure virtual machines. Then comes the platform as a service. This time someone gives you pre-cut veggies, dough, sauce, and instruction. You just assemble and bake the pizza. It's faster and easier this way. You focus on cooking, but not the prepping or cleaning part. Platform as a service provides you with the platform like operating system, database, and development tools. You just need to write your code and deploy your app. There is no need to manage servers or infrastructure, just like Google App Engine or Azure App Service. Now comes the last one, software as a service. Suppose after a whole day of work, you are really tired and you don't want to cook. So you open Swiggy or Zomato and order a ready-made meal for yourself. It arrives at your doorstep, hot and ready. You just eat it. Software as a service gives you the ready-to-use applications over the internet. You don't manage anything. You just log in and start working on using it. Just like your Gmail, Netflix, or Google Docs. Now let's talk about some use cases. Suppose a company that wants full control over its server, such as hosting their own custom applications, then they will choose the infrastructure as a service model. Then suppose a developer who wants to build apps without managing infrastructure, like a startup launching its own web app. Then they will choose platform as a service model. And then for everyone, we all use software as a service daily, from checking emails to watching shows to collaborate in docs, just like our Netflix or Gmail applications. Now that we understand cloud service types, let's talk about where these clouds live. That's why it's called cloud deployment model. There are four main types of model, like private cloud, public cloud, hybrid cloud, and multi-cloud. The first up here is public cloud. It's owned and managed by companies like Amazon, Microsoft, or Google. Anyone can rent resources from here, like Gmail, Netflix, Dropbox. For a real life example, think of it like joining a public gym, shared by many, but it's convenient and also affordable. Then comes the private cloud, a cloud that used by a single organization, built for their exclusive use, like banks or hospitals with strict data control. Just like the public cloud, we discussed this gym example. For private cloud, just imagine building your own gym at home. Only you and your family can use it. Now let's talk about hybrid cloud. It's actually a mix of public and private cloud. Used when companies need the flexibility of a public cloud, but when they also want a control of a private cloud. Example, a retail company storing customer data privately, but running its website on public cloud. Just like the gym example we used previously, it's like using your home gym most days, but going to a public gym for special equipment. Now comes the multi-cloud. This is when a company uses two or more public cloud providers, like both AWS and Google, just so can they avoid dependencies on a single vendor and to increase their flexibility. Like a company storing data on Google Cloud, but running its analytics on AWS. Just like the gym example previously, it's like having membership of two gyms, one near your home and one near your office. So you are never stuck. Now let's break down the core components of cloud computing. The three essential part that makes the cloud work. The front end, the back end, and the network. Think of it like ordering food through a food delivery app. Let me explain. The first one up here is front end. It's actually what you see. Like the Swiggy or Zomato app on your phone, you browse through the menus, place your order, and track the delivery. You don't really care how the kitchen works. You just enjoy the smooth user experience. So, as part of cloud version, this front end is what you interact with, like your websites, mobile apps, or dashboards. It's how user access cloud services. For example, when you open Google Drive, the interface you see is the front end of the cloud. Then comes the back end. This is like the kitchen in a restaurant. You don't see the chef, but they are working hard to prepare your meal, using equipments, ovens, and recipes. So, as for the cloud version, the backend includes all the powerful components that run the cloud, like servers, database, storage system, virtualization tools, and security layers. For example, like when you upload a file to Google Drive, the Google data center stores, processes, and protects that file, all in the backend. Now comes the network, the bridge between this front end and the backend. This is the delivery driver who brings your food from restaurant to your doorstep. Without the road, no food reaches you, no matter how well it's cooked. For the cloud version, the network connects the front end and the back end. It's mainly the internet or internal company networks. Without it, users can't access cloud services. For example, if your Wi Fi is down, you can't reach Google Drive, even though the service is working fine in the back end. So, in simple terms, the front end is what you see, the back end is what powers everything, and the network is what connects it all. Together, they form the foundation of cloud computing. Okay, now let me tell you something. You have probably been using cloud computing every single day without even realizing. Seriously, I was the same. I used to think it was this big, complicated tech thing. But no, it's just part of our daily normal lives. Let me give you some examples, okay? So, when you take one selfie and then you found it later on your laptop or tablet, just like magic? No, that's not magic. That's the cloud. Google Photos, OneDrive, iCloud, they are all just fancy online storage lockers. Then, every single time you order your food online or shop on Amazon during sales, cloud computing is doing all the heavy lifting in the background. Imagine Flipkart trying to handle all this Diwali sale orders on one old school computer. It would crash immediately, right? The cloud is what keeps everything running smoothly. Then also our favorite streaming app. When Netflix says, hey, you might like this crime thriller, that's also cloud magic too. It's not just guessing, it's actually using our watch history, analyzing it on real time, and serving us the stuff we'll probably binge watch at 2 a.m. in the night. And even the Spotify, the same thing with those accurate playlists. The cloud is literally curating our vibe. Or even if we ever try to build a website or app, setting up all the tech can be painful, but with cloud, developers can test apps without needing big machines. They just spin up test environments in minutes. I actually helped a team launch a prototype with zero hardware, just cloud tools. It felt like cheating, right? But no, it's just what the cloud it is. So yeah, if you thought the cloud is some techie corporate thing, no. It's just the reason we can binge watch shows, share photos, work from home, or even shop without queues. It's everywhere. And you have already probably using it also. You just didn't know it had a fancy name. Okay. So cloud computing sounds amazing. And honestly it is. But like everything in life, it's not perfect. There are few challenges that comes with it. And I think it's important you know this too. One is data privacy and compliance. Let's say you are storing personal or sensitive data on like customer info, health record, or payment data. There are strict rules around how the data can be handled depending on where you. So if company don't follow those rules properly, huge troubles. There would be fine, legal stuff, basically not fun. Then this one is a bit tricky, okay, this vandal lock-in section. Imagine you build everything in one cloud provider like AWS, and later you want to move into Google Cloud. So sometimes it's really hard to migrate because your whole setup is customized to that one platform. It's like trying to move your entire kitchen from one house to another without breaking anything. Then comes the network latency. Cloud services rely on internet. Okay, without internet, you can't access cloud. So if your connection is slow or it goes down, you are basically locked out of your own stuff. For companies with users in remote locations, this can be a real pain because things will lag, app will load slowly. So basically, the user will get frustrated. And the last one is cost management. Now, this one can surprise people, but yes, the cloud can be expensive if it doesn't monitor well. Those food delivery apps, it start off cheap, but if you don't pay attention, suddenly you are spending thousands just to keep things run. Especially it's for startups. Not keeping track of users can lead to some nasty billing surprises. So yeah, cloud is powerful, but not perfect. You have got to be smart about your privacy, your managing costs, and always keep a backup plan. It's kind of like owning a really cool bike. I mean, you still need a lock and a helmet and sometime maintenance in a while. Uh, all right, let's quickly wrap this up. I know we covered a lot, so here's what we talked about today. We talked about what cloud computing is actually is, how it evolved, why everyone's jumping on the cloud, the different service models, where the cloud lives, the different building blocks, real world challenges, and finally how we already use the cloud everything for work, entertainment, storage, and more. Honestly, understanding cloud computing isn't just for IT folks anymore. Whether you are a student, a content creator, or building your own business, this stuff actually gives you superpower in the digital world. So, if this video made the cloud feels a little less cloudy, hit the like button, subscribe for more tech made simple, and let me know in the comment what's your favorite cloud model or what do you use cloud for every day. Is it Netflix, Google Docs, or your favorite food delivery app? That's it from me today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one where we will break down more tech without jargons. Bye for now.